Hello, it's Jenny from Ginger Ninja Crafts. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. I am here with my video for this week's Wing It Wednesday, and this is a collaboration hosted by lovely Jenny over at Jenny's Crafty Corner. And the idea is that you use something in your stash which you've had for a while and either never used or haven't used for a very long time. And I was inspired to dig out this Art Nouveau stamp set by Hot Off the Press. I think it was gifted to me, or it was a prize maybe when I got a photo published in the letters bit of one of the craft magazines years ago, I think. I don't think I bought it. And it was inspired because I went to the Hill House this weekend. My husband and I were away for a night on Saturday. We went to a wedding party through the west of Scotland, and we were about half an hour away from the Hill House, which we'd never been to before, so we popped in. And this house was designed inside and out by Charles Rennie Mackintosh, and I absolutely love Charles Rennie Mackintosh. It was beautiful, really, really beautiful. I'll share a little montage of photographs at the end, and if I can get it to work, I'll even share me walking up and over the whole of the house, because it's basically in a steel, is that what it's made of? It's in like a big steel cage because it needs to dry out, because it was kind of mouldy. It was, yeah, it got very damp and mouldy. So if you want to see the photographs, wait until the end. But this was inspired by the rose, because I thought, oh, I've got a stamp set that's got that on it. And it does have roses, but they're not really, probably to do with copyright, they're not really the Mackintosh roses. And I thought maybe I could do it myself. So I've had a wee go, because I'm not very good at drawing circles. I had a go on a punched circle, and I thought maybe I could do some ATCs. My husband bought me this pen, which I thought was very sweet, to go in my handbag, because at the moment I've got a very scabby free pen from the Cat Rescue, which is very on brand for me, but still. So it's got the roses. So I've just got the box and that here for a bit of inspiration. So if you watch to the end of the video and you see the colours, etc., it's quite lots of pink, silver, sort of pale lilac-y kind of colours. So I thought I might try and recreate the background of my ATC. Did I say that's what I'm going to make? With some inks. This is going to be the colour from a rose, so it stands out. So I've got some little ATC blanks cut, and I've got Kitsch Flamingo, I've got Tattered Rose, and I've got Milled Lavender, and I thought I might just try and do a bit of smooshing and see how it works. Let's see, so just a bit of, it's not very pinky really, is it, that, but it's a bit rubbish. Let me see if I could just do a little bit of I'll keep it, but I've got another wee plan. Okay, I saw somebody do this on Instagram, I think. They took a little gel plate, and this is a little one which is welded to the plastic. Hang on. Whew! Got the plastic off. I don't think it's going back on somehow. Jings. Okay, so I've got this little gel plate. I do have other, I've got a couple other gel plates that are bigger obviously, but this one is just the right size for an ATC. And I saw the person do this on a small one with some distress oxides and a brayer. I think that's what they did. Is that what they did? Let's try it this way. That's too pink. That's for my roses. That's... Maybe they put a bit of this on. And then... Maybe it was on a Lavinia stamps video. I think I've not done this right. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit boring. Okay, let me just... Okay, not that one. Let's do the milled lavender. So this is not an oxide. So I'm already going against my... But anyway... Oh, that's all right, actually. I wonder if I've got another colour of lilac-y. Okay, I've got shaded lilac, which again is not an oxide. But if I was going with a sort of silvery almost, I've got this speckled egg. What about if I did... that? A bit of that. A bit of that. Right, let's try. I can't stop myself doing that, and then it's a bit ruined. But anyway, let's see. Ooh, that's quite nice. This does have a bit of a quality of a silvery colour. Just put a wee bit of that there. Some pink dotted about, and then a bit of what am I doing wrong, people? I mean, the back's turning out lovely. There we go. Right, I'm gonna leave that at that. Maybe I'll try. Put that on there. That's a bit boring, but you can always build it up, can't you, when it's boring? Just pick up a wee bit of Okay, so I've got a bit of something there. So while I let that dry a wee bit, I'm gonna clean this a bit. I'll just move these away out of the road to dry. Pop them up there. Right. So what I thought with this is I could try drawing some roses. So I've got this pen. It's just a black thick pen. And you see here, it's just kind of like so. Is that too thick? Should I do it in white? Don't know if it's going to work in white. That looks okay. I wonder if I've got a white marker, a paint marker. Hang on. Yes, I found this Uniball. Is that what it's called? Uniposca. So let's. Oh, that's disappointing. Maybe it's. Here we go. Here we go. Right. I think the gel pen is a bit easier. That's a 10, that's a wee bit thicker. So yes, this is my effort at some Charles Rennie Mackintosh roses. It really was a beautiful house. The wallpaper, well, the stenciling, I think, on the walls, the carpet, the soft furnishings were, you know, the lampshade was like embroidered, there was wall hangings that were embroidered. It was really, really beautiful. Now, the other thing that's quite Rennie Mackintosh is sort of black and white. You'll see some chairs, hopefully, with this sort of effect. Like a kind of grid. or even just the stripe. I'm sure he did it with a bit more precision, but here's me winging it. I'm just using a bit of scrap because I think this pen is going to leak through. But it was a lovely weekend, and it was very exciting actually because I passed 600 subscribers on my wee channel. So I was really excited. I spotted that I was at like 4 off or something, and then there was a few lovely crafty pals gave me a wee shout out, and I think I woke up on Sunday morning with a slightly croaky voice from all that singing and dancing at the wedding, at 602. I was like, yay, so excited. So that sort of effect as well. So I am going to do some cutting out, and then I'll come back and we can rearrange things a wee bit. Okay, so I've got a couple of these that I think I'll use. I've got an array of roses, some black and white kind of checky bits, and I've done some other with just the stripes and the checky bit. And I think I'm going to use either Let Your Dreams Soar. I think I'm going to do Small Things with Great Love. So I'm still using the stamp set that was my Wing It Wednesday thing. So that's my stamp set. So let me just, before I get any ink or anything, think what was it. If that went on there and that went on there. I also did some teeny tiny little leaves. I don't know if you can see them. They were a wee bit of a faff to cut out. So if I stuck that one there, then I could have a little selection of those with some leaves. That could work, couldn't it? So I might just stamp that bit and then rearrange. So yeah, have you heard of Charles Rennie Mackintosh? I mean, definitely if you're Scottish, I'm sure you will have, but there we go. I really enjoyed, they were saying in there was a little video in the house about how he wasn't really recognised during his lifetime, like a lot of artistic people and artists. And then I can't think when he said, was it the 70s or the 60s? He became very popular, and there was lots of merch, as we would call it nowadays, and they called a lot of it Charles Rennie Mackintosh. So this is my Mackintosh. It's not Mackintosh, it's definitely a mock version. I might just trim that down a little. So I'm going to stick that onto there. And then because it's been wet, I need to, once everything's dried on it, I'm going to stick it under a heavy book to sort of weigh it down. think I'll stick that just in from the side, like so, and I can trim it a bit when it's done. So maybe a biggish one. And stick that one on there. Pop a wee leaf while it's still can get it underneath there, and then pop that here. Now I've got these little bits too. Oh, I'll see, right. Pop this one on. So if anybody fancies doing an ATC swap with me, I think postage to the US is a bit tricky at the moment. I'm not sure that our post office is sending stuff, just because of I think there's a wee bit of delay at customs or something. But anywhere else, give me a shout in the comments. And I'd love to swap ATCs. Now one down here. I feel like it needs a wee bit something else. So my options are I wondered about something like, it's not really, doesn't really fit with the Mackintosh. Maybe just a little boundary line. Now where I have made a mistake, I would normally do a wee scribble or something, but I'm doing some little boxy things. Okay, so that's that now. Yeah, I think that does look better with that line around it. So there we go. 2 Charles Rennie Mackintosh ATCs, inspired by a trip to Hill House in Helensburgh and Wing It Wednesday by the Art Nouveau little stamp there. So please go and give Jenny some love over on her channel. You'll find her linked in the description box below. And also, if you feel like joining in, if like all of us crafters, you've got a load of stuff in your stash that you haven't used for a while, just use the hashtag wingitwednesday. Keep watching if you want to see the photos of the house. See you later. I just loved everything here. The lighting, you can see the door. This was the library. I always love a library. There was mosaics in the style. This was an embroidered lampshade. The artwork on the walls. More gorgeous light fittings and the stenciled wallpaper. This was a textile piece. I think this is one of the bedrooms. I love those chairs. And this was wardrobe doors. It was gorgeous mosaic tile on the fireplace. And these were sort of textile wall hangings. And then this is me on the stairs on top of the house. Beautiful views. And this is me climbing up. I didn't think, I'm not brilliant on heights, and this felt quite scary because you could see right through the stairs, and it made lots of noise as you were walking across it. It was very creaky. I was thinking, I hope these bolts are good. But you could see, I think that's the River Clyde in the distance. And it was pretty cool that you could walk up and over the top of the house. Follow the arrow. But yeah, so I hope that you've enjoyed a little taste of the Hill House, and if you are around that area, it's definitely worth a pop in. We've got a National Trust membership, and so it was free to get in. And there is my ATCs. Thanks for watching.